How will cars look in the future? The automotive industry is experiencing the biggest upheaval in its history. A technological tsunami has been upturning the automotive industry over the last decade. Traditional patterns have been exploding as the digital revolution leads to reinventing all the hardware and software architecture on vehicles. It may well be that in a few years' time, a car will look nothing like it does today. This development will be in stages. We start without feet and then do without hands and eventually without eyes. In the opinion of Pascal Brier, Altran Group Executive Vice President and responsible for innovation, it is disruptive technology. The car of the future is well and truly on its way. Here are its main features. The electric car. When it was first introduced, experts envisaged a specific use, for public transport for example. Electric was the first phenomenon to transform cars. Beating the predictions, electric cars are slowly emerging as a must-have in all the market segments. It now has numerous technological advantages and its alleged historical weaknesses, such as autonomy, 600 kilometers for the latest Tesla for example, or road performance, no longer apply. This trend has been greatly reinforced by environmental obligations to reduce particle and greenhouse gas emissions. In the years ahead, increasingly powerful hybrid or electric engines will gradually replace the traditional internal combustion engine. The autonomous car. It is the most spectacular revolution. Tomorrow, cars will be able to do without their drivers. This development will be in stages. We start without feet and then do without hands and eventually without eyes, says Pascal Brier. The first two stages have already been completed. Cruise control has existed for several years. Drivers can set a cruising speed and remove their feet from the pedals. And some cars now offer driver assistance systems that make it possible to remove the hands from the wheel in specific situations such as in traffic jams, or when parking, etc. The next step? 100% autonomy. Engineers are working to replace human eyes with a multitude of cameras, sensors and lasers that will reproduce the environment in 3D and allow the vehicle to make navigation decisions alone. Popularized by Google in its famous Google car, most manufacturers have begun looking at autonomy and are currently in the phase of conducting major tests on the roads. The connected car. The car of the future will be fully connected with objects and humans. In fact, in order to be autonomous and make the right decisions, cars must be able to exchange a variety of information with the outside world: traffic, weather, vehicle condition, service stations, accidents, etc. Eventually, through various sensors, it will be able to communicate with other vehicles but also with the infrastructure, roads, buildings, etc. In addition, numerous online services will be available to passengers: Wi-Fi, cloud, media, entertainment, etc. In Pascal Brier's opinion, this involves a total paradigm shift. Cars are becoming a separate place for service consumption, he says. Just imagine. A several-hour trip will become an opportunity to answer your emails, watch the latest film released in cinemas or Skype a friend on the other side of the planet. A new method of manufacture. The last major change concerns the industry itself. Tomorrow's factories will be nothing like they are today. All the car's hardware and software architecture is in the process of being redesigned. On one hand, the body is slowly changing to incorporate new technologies, such as lightweight composite and 3D printing materials. And on the other hand, to ensure the connectivity and range of the vehicle, numerous smart devices will have to be connected and integrated, including computers, cameras, infotainment centers, etc. This means completely overhauling the car's electronic architecture. Pascal Brier thinks, we are moving from a wired car to a completely separate network architecture that is in the shape of a vehicle. To conclude, the car of the future, built according to a new model, will be electric, autonomous and connected. It will bring a number of benefits to society: less pollution, more safety, more free time and services. And at the end of it all? A paradigm revolution. Cars will perhaps offer less pleasure driving on the open road but will offer real transport, safety and connectivity services. Many challenges lie ahead, of course, technological, industrial and legislative, but the transition is already well on its way and the phenomenon will accelerate in the coming years. Many players are opting into the adventure: manufacturers, equipment manufacturers, service providers, telecom operators, web giants, etc. It's a real challenge for the automotive industry. Pascal Brier enthuses. The car of the future opens amazing doors to technological innovation. We have before us the opportunity to rethink transport. It's common sense, but it pays to have a very good idea of your needs before setting foot in a showroom or beginning your online hunt. Most sports cars will compromise on practicality, and limited load space and room for two may not quite match your lifestyle. Similarly, larger performance machines will be more expensive to run, so there's a balance to be found if you plan to use your sports car as your sole transport. Accurately predicting the future can be fraught with difficulties, and with hindsight even the most sensible predictions can look foolish. Such as when William Orton, as president of Western Union, dismissed telephones as a toy, and turned down the chance to buy the patent for $100,000. It's easy to laugh when someone gets it so wrong, but, as the new millennium began and fears of a Y2K bug were swiftly allayed, how many of us were seriously predicting the electric car revolution we are currently experiencing? With this in mind, and putting electric, hydrogen, and other alternative fuels to one side, just this once, what will we be driving in 2050? Let's see. As far back as 1940, Henry Ford was quoted as saying, "A combination airplane and motorcar is coming, you may smile, but it will come." Was he right? Slovak design and development company Aeromobile certainly thinks so, and have invested 350,000 hours of design, engineering, and testing to create their latest two-seater craft capable of flying over 460 miles at 99 miles per hour. It sounds great, but, just in case you're tempted, it will set you back a cool $1.6 million. On the other hand, there's the Samson Switchblade, which has wings that swing out and a tail that extends in under 3 minutes, as this street-legal vehicle readies itself for flight at up to 200 miles per hour and 13,000 feet. And, at the comparatively bargain price of around $150,000, over 1,500 people in 45 countries have already reserved theirs. Of course, whether these are really cars or not is a moot point. Arguably, they are small planes that can travel for some distance on the road. But it's a start, and there are 10 models which are either available now or will be in the foreseeable future. Large-scale adoption is another thing altogether, and, when you consider that it's taken over 100 years for electric cars to become mass market, there's little point in getting too excited just yet. Google started their self-driving car project in 2009 and have driven over 20 billion real-world and simulated miles in their quest to develop the world's most experienced driver TM. In fact, Waymo One TM already offers fully autonomous taxi rides in Phoenix, Arizona, with customers simply downloading an app and hailing a cab. Here in the UK, completely self-driving cars are not yet legal for road use, but adaptive cruise control, emergency braking, self-parking, and lane-keeping systems are becoming commonplace. Then there's the Tesla Model 3's optional enhanced autopilot, which will change lanes based on your instruction, monitoring its surroundings as it does so. There's still a long way to go, but trials such as the one taking place in Milton Keynes, where a remote driver in a call center delivers an empty electric car for you to jump in and take over the controls, shows that self-driving vehicles are on their way. Like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel.